Good morning. My name is Donald Handy, and I'm here in support of my son who is running for a public office. He's the third generation in the truck line in the business that we've run for many years. He's honest, he's aware of the people's needs, and he'll make himself aware of the bills that are coming up and vote in a manner that would be in the best interest of the people. He's helped a lot of people, not only their physical problems, but their temporal problems. He's had a lot of experience in county work and city work. He's well educated and should make a very good congressman. My grandfather was in the House and Dad was in the House, and when I came along he shoved me into some of the things with the transport, and it just wasn't my bag. So with Clay, if he is elected, he'll be the third one of the Handys that served in the House. My grandfather was the one that passed the Equalization for Education bill. He pushed that through so that all the counties were kind of equalized in money. If you notice, Minidoka County, there's a little strip that comes down out of Blaine County to hit the railroad, and they demanded that they needed that to have a little revenue come into them, which I thought was very interesting. I served as a county commissioner, and while we were in, we tried to convince Blaine County that they needed to let us have all that land because we were having to do the roads and a lot of the work out there anyway. But they wouldn't go for it, so they still are reaping a little bit of money off the railroad. I was very small when Grandpa and Grandma would go to Boise, and I remember we would go out to the ranch and stay at the ranch while they were there. And I was probably in about maybe the third or fourth grade at that time. So it was I would guess back in the 30s sometime. It was the best time to grow up. People were honest. People had to help one another to get by. And it was just a good time to live back then. I remember that they had a reunion of all the people that had been in the State House. And Dad and Grandpa went up, and I went up with them for a while. But it was interesting. Grandpa was pretty excited to go with his son. Dad was in there in the 50s. I'm sure Dad and Grandpa would be very excited that Clay's running, that he's interested in the state. I am proud that he wants to be part of it. But then that's been Clay all his life. He's been interested in getting into things like that. So it doesn't surprise me.